Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Monday. I'm glad you're here. Today's Red Mic message: history has favorites. When Michael Jordan walked away from basketball to pursue professional baseball, it became one of the most famous detours in sports history. He'd already won 3 consecutive NBA championships. He was the most recognizable athlete in the world. And then, at the height of his career, he traded basketball shoes for baseball cleats. Jordan spent a season with the Birmingham Barons, the Double-A affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. He never became a major league player, but he worked, competed, improved, and earned the respect of people who had initially assumed his baseball career was little more than a publicity stunt. Then he returned to basketball. 2 words announced it: I'm back. From there, Jordan went on to win 3 more championships, and his baseball experiment became part of his mythology, a bold, fascinating chapter in the story of the greatest basketball player of his generation, maybe of all time. But 14 years before Jordan left basketball for baseball, another superstar athlete made an equally unlikely decision. Ed Too Tall Jones left the Dallas Cowboys to become a professional boxer. He was not an aging player hanging on at the end of his career. He was 28 years old. He'd been the first selection in the '74 NFL draft. He was a starting defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys' doomsday defense. He had already played in 3 Super Bowls and had helped the Cowboys win Super Bowl 12. At 6 foot 9 inches tall, he was one of the most physically distinctive and intimidating players in football at that time, and he walked away. Now, Jones had boxed before he entered the NFL, and the pull of the ring never really let go. So after the '78 season, he stepped away from one of the best teams in football and tried to become a heavyweight boxer. you know, from the outside, it seemed sort of like Don Quixote going after those dragons. It was crazy. Why would somebody leave a successful career in America's most popular sport to begin again in one of its most unforgiving sports? But Jones didn't just pose for promotional photographs and collect an easy payday. He actually fought. He finished his brief professional boxing career an undefeated 6-0 with 5 knockouts. Then he made another difficult decision. He came back. Unlike many athletes who attempt to come back, Ed Jones didn't return as a diminished version of himself. He actually returned as a better player. After rejoining the Cowboys in 1980, Jones earned 3 consecutive Pro Bowl selections and All-Pro recognition from 1981 through 1983. He ultimately played 15 NFL seasons, all with the Cowboys, and finished with more than 100 career sacks, honestly, when sacks weren't even a real stat that they tracked. Some estimates figured that he would have even better numbers if that was something that they actually tracked along the way. Now, when Michael Jordan left his sport and pursued another one, he returned and added to his legend. Ed Jones left his sport, pursued another one, returned, and played another decade at a high level. Yet Jordan's baseball career is remembered as an adventure. Jones' boxing career, though, is often remembered as an interruption. Jordan's detour became a legendary chapter. Jones's became a permanent black mark. And Jones remains outside of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a lot of people think because of that pause in his career. He's still receiving consideration through the Hall's senior selection process. And in the class of '26, he did get some votes, but he hasn't gotten the call to go to Canton. Maybe the year he spent boxing cost him important career statistics. Maybe it interrupted the momentum of his reputation. Maybe playing beside other great Cowboys defenders caused his individual accomplishments to become blurred into the larger story of the doomsday defense. But maybe history just decided to tell his story differently. Sometimes the exact same decision becomes either a legendary chapter or a permanent asterisk, not because of the decision itself, but because of how history chooses to remember it. And that's probably not fair, but it is real. We like to believe that if we work hard, take risks, recover from mistakes, and finish well, history will judge us accurately. Doesn't always happen that way. Two people can make similar choices for similar reasons and receive completely different verdicts. One is remembered for pursuing a dream, and the other is remembered for walking away. We can't completely control how other people interpret our decisions. We can't dictate what part of our story they want to emphasize, and we can't guarantee that every sacrifice, comeback, or accomplishment will receive the recognition it actually deserves. What we can control is whether we have the courage to make the decision we believe is right and the humility to change direction when experience teaches us something new. Too Tall Jones took his shot, literally. He tested himself in another arena, discovered where he belonged, and returned to football without excuses. And the Hall of Fame may eventually decide to honor him, and I think it should. But whether that call ever comes or not, Ed Too Tall Jones's story is bigger than a bronze bust. He was willing to risk being misunderstood. He was willing to begin again. And when he returned, he finished what he started. That's today's Red Mike message. Hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you're able to use some of these things in place in your own life. Thank you for being here. I'll see you again tomorrow. And until next time, don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon.